Hi, I'm Sarah Goodwin. I produce Instagram stories here at PopSugar. Today, we're going to tell you about the 5 video trends shaping the future of Instagram. But first, here's a look at who we are.
Hi, I'm Lisa Sugar. I really felt like there was a void in the marketplace. There wasn't a place that had a female point of view that was fun and friendly.
Everyone can come to PopSugar and find a piece of content that they love and they relate to.
I just love encouraging others and making people feel good.
We welcome different voices and people from different backgrounds.
We bring joy to women every day.
PopSugar was always like kind of a bright spot on the internet.
It's not just something that you're supposed to kind of skim through and move on. It's something that's supposed to actually add to your life.
PopSugar is constantly changing and innovating.
We can move quickly, we can act quickly, we can mobilize quickly, we can change quickly.
We're covering the trends, we're discovering things before they are trends.
Women feel more empowered than ever to use their voices and to speak up. We're willing to take chances.
PopSugar is changing the world, one story at a time.
PopSugar is community, home, a force for change, your best friend.
PopSugar is for everyone.
Let's take a little trip down memory lane to see how Instagram became the platform it is today.
A minute of history. The Instagram story is Silicon Valley legend. It started in 2009 as a side hustle ripoff of Foursquare, the check-in app. Then one of the founders posted a picture in 2010, enhanced it with a filter, and things got crazy. Just 2 years later, Facebook bought them for $1 billion. Twitter-inspired hashtags came in 2011, and then 2 years ago, we had to deal with the algorithm that forever changed our chronological feeds. Instagram was getting swamped with content. And then there was video. Remember, back in 2012, Instagram was just pictures. Beautiful, inspirational photos, filtered and au naturel, or so people claimed. Well, in 2013, they made it possible to upload 15-second video clips, just topping Vine's 6-second limit. 3 years later, Instagram upped the runtime to a full minute, and the platform basically exploded overnight with video. When Instagram Stories launched in late 2016, our first reaction was, ugh, they're just ripping off Snapchat, how sad. We didn't immediately realize that Stories added a key new dimension to the platform. And today, Instagram is the leading social platform for people like me. And it seems for everyone else.
Today, 81% of its users check out Instagram daily. And we know the typical PopSugar user goes to our accounts 18 times a day. That, my friends, is an addiction.
With 60 seconds, creative opportunities open up. We can show the world as it was meant to be lived, in motion.
Instagram, with its pretty filters and aspirational posts, now gave us a place to get raw, real, and immediate, especially with video.
On Instagram Stories, it's all about immediacy, so we're giving our community a look into what we're up to right now, today. Almost immediately, we saw that our users were hitting those little circles to check out what was happening at PopSugar.
We're posting in real time what we're doing and discovering before we're able to shoot a video or write up a post for the site. It's the fastest and most authentic way we have to share our experience with our audience.
We've posted over 5,000 Instagram stories and 3,000 feed videos over the past 2 years, working with our editors, influencers, and brand partners.
And here's what we've learned along the way about video on Instagram in 5 big trends. 60 seconds of video doesn't sound like much, but it's an eternity and a game changer for Instagram. It's opened up huge avenues for our editors to tell richer stories and provide valuable context.
Take fitness. We have one of the world's largest audiences in this space. We got there by figuring out the perfect mix of achievable workouts, advice, and inspiration. For us, a photo-only Instagram was limited to inspiration. With video, we can bring all elements of fitness together. Our high-res camera work, saturated colors, and powerful music pack an emotional punch, and our audience loves it. We're now able to use Instagram to show moves in detail and tell you how to do them. We can show you the full range of a yoga pose with a boomerang, and we can show you what the products we recommend actually do and how to use them. You just can't do that with an image alone.
Our friends at Tastemade used video really well to show you how to actually make the food trend versus just drooling over the photo. 5-Minute Hacks brought DIY into the feed. And Pat McGrath is great at using video for beauty tutorials. The same is true for our celebrity and news audiences. Being able to hear Emma Gonzalez's speech or see Beyonce's choreography beats the impact of a still. It unites our audience at a specific point in time, letting us all share in big moments together with real context from our editors.
In our trending pop culture series, Pop Sugar Rush, we use a blend of graphics and voices to tell you why a current event matters. And in our female empowerment series, We Rise, we use video to tell the story of someone's life. Before video, we couldn't have considered Instagram a platform for these stories, but now it's our most important channel for them.
Our data is clear that video is way more shareable than pictures or text. For example, our video of Selena Gomez with then-boyfriend The Weeknd racked up 1,000 times the number of engagements than its photo counterpart. Brands are seeing the same. A week after launching video on Instagram, Lululemon's videos were getting more engagements than its photos. And it's growing quickly. Time spent watching video on Instagram is up 80% this year alone. Social platforms are communities, and once a platform etiquette is established, it tends to persist. Think of the YouTube vlogger talking one-on-one from her bedroom, or the text-on-clip style developed for Facebook. On the Instagram feed, the etiquette has always been to be pretty, polished, and aspirational. But on stories, the etiquette is raw, real, and unfiltered. So embrace it.
Publishers, celebrities, and brands are using the stories to peel back the curtain. Our audience can step inside the Pop Sugar offices, get to know our editors, and experience our imperfect but authentic world firsthand.
Our data shows that the beauty audience craves details on new product launches, trends, and procedures. So when we go out to test a new trend, we can use video on stories to capture the journey every step of the way. No filters, no editing, just honest, real-time reaction to what we saw, what worked, and what didn't.
We're seeing brands have high engagement by using stories to show a more human face. Today, 1 in 5 stories posted by companies receive a DM. Use it to give you a more intimate relationship with your customers.
Traditionally, celebrities have carefully managed and curated their image, but now more are taking the brave step of using stories for an unfiltered look into their lives. The authenticity and rawness has made them so much more relatable and accessible. It's hard to remember that a few years ago, we were limited to glossy Photoshop magazine photos on the one side and brutal TMZ and tabloid shots on the other.
Check out Busy Phillips' self-deprecating looks at motherhood. She's become an Instagram stories star overnight. She's at home, in the car, in the gym, often with no makeup, just like us. And through stories, we can step inside Kim Kardashian's home or attend Chrissy Teigen's party. We can celebrate big moments with our favorite celebrities, all in a totally unfiltered way.
Instagram Stories and Instagram Live put the platform on the map as a place where you can be immersed in real-time news. CNN, The Wall Street Journal, Now This News, and others all use the feed and stories to bring people real-time coverage of world events. Our most swiped on stories of the day are our morning headlines, so we know that our audience sees our stories as a go-to source for their news.
Our data shows that some of the highest engagement is at 5 a.m. Tuesday through Friday. That's our audience waking up to watch their favorite new morning show, their stories feed.
Pop Sugar had reporters on the ground in 5 different cities during the Women's March. We continually map out a calendar of events we know our audience wants to be at, and we use stories to give millions of them a front row and behind the scenes experience. It's a huge value for them.
On Oscars night, we use stories to take our audience with us on the ultimate red carpet. Our audience expects us to bring them what's going on in the world right when it's going on. Because stories are so immediate, we're able to do that by uploading content as it's being shot.
With video, news outlets can use their reporters, like Dexter Thomas from Vice, to help us understand the news. The Guardian uses stories for a smart series called Fake or For Real, where a journalist breaks down fake news.
The immediacy of stories is very powerful. It's changing user viewing behavior on Instagram. A recent survey showed that almost 25% of users are ditching feed time in favor of watching video-powered stories instead.
Stories has a huge audience building challenge. Unlike other media, there is no headline or thumb-stopping image to sell it. Just that little Pop Sugar Circle logo. Viewers have no idea what they'll get by pressing that little circle, so you need to train them to habitually look forward to the reward your brand has to offer them. Disappoint them too many times, and they'll build the opposite habit.
One of the ways we are building that crucial habit is by taking a page out of what has worked on TV for over 80 years, offering consistent weekly series that deliver.
On Stories, our audience is learning that every Monday, I will bring you the Brit List, running down the can't-miss pop culture moments of the week. On Tuesdays, they tag along with fitness writer Dominique Astorino as she tries out wellness trends in You Glow Girl.
On Wednesday, I host Swatch With Us on our beauty channel. Thursday, Get Strong with Gina offers a new strength training routine.
And on Fridays, we bring it home with my series, First Impression Friday.
We constantly monitor retention data. Are users seeing all of the segments of our stories, or are they opting out after the first few slides? And if so, we need to change things up. We're seeing very high retention with our shows. Unlike Facebook, most are watching with the sound on, indicating that they're highly engaged. And that makes us so excited for the potential of long-running shows on our Instagram stories.
Weekly shows also provide great opportunities to collaborate with brands on sponsorship while building a real habit through our editorial calendar and playlists. We give our shows added exposure by giving each show its own spot in our highlights section. In that way, each episode can live on for one full week versus just 24 hours until the next one goes live.
One thing to track carefully on Stories is length. We study retention very carefully, and we know that after 10 segments, we see huge drop-off. The content feels too long and no longer digestible. That speaks volumes to how lightning fast the format is. That's just 2 minutes and 30 seconds worth of content per show. And the faster you can tell your story, the better. Our sweet spot is 5 to 7 chapters.
The popularity of our weekly shows also allows us to test new topics and formats. We know that whatever comes after my First Impression Friday segment will have a lot of people watching, so we can test out new series and new formats here to get a lot of data quickly. Basically, it's taking a page out of how TV networks have launched shows for years.
We are super aware that we're constantly asking our audience to give us their most precious asset, which is their time. You can skim an article in a few seconds and read the highlights in a minute. But video requires a much bigger time investment.
The percentage of our audience that will click into a video, something we constantly track in our data, is much lower. On YouTube, you can try to fast forward, but we all know that's an awkward experience, especially on your phone. Instagram Stories is a game changer for video because it solves this problem. It lets you tap through a video story as fast or as slow as you want. And it seems like a small thing, like who cares? But honestly, you do it once and you wonder how life wasn't always like this.
It's totally changed how I watch. In basically just a few minutes, I can skim through the stories of 20 of my favorite accounts lightning fast. And I can speed up or slow down as I choose. I can use the video snippets and stories to get the day's big headlines. I can look at the hottest lifestyle trends. I can tag along with an influencer. I can see what my fave celebrities are up to. Or I can slow down and dive into a great story with my favorite influencer.
With these 5 trends, video on Instagram has changed the future of social media and how young people are consuming content.
Publishers like PopSugar have a unique role to play. We use our passion as fans to find the best stories. We use our privileged access to take you to the front row and behind the scenes. And we use our role as editors and journalists to curate the most interesting stories happening and what it all means.
Instagram Stories to me is a great way of feeling like you are in touch and connected with people, even if they're people who you don't even know.
You can see what people are doing in the moment. You can see what people have done all day long. It's easier to keep up with people that you love.
My family live all the way in England, and watching my sister's Instagram stories, I feel like I can be like right there with her watching my nephews grow up.
It allows people to have their curated, like, beautiful persona that they put in their feed, but then they've also got stories for letting your freak flag fly.
You can get comments directly and respond to everybody, and there's so many direct messages.
I feel like on Instagram Stories, people are really showing who they are.
We use the feed for inspiration and stories for news, repeating series and hold on one second. We use the feed for inspiration and stories for news, repeating series.
We can show the world as it was meant to be.
Celebrities are using video on Instagram to break Oh my God. Sarah!
We're super aware that we're constantly asking our audience to give up their most precious asset, which, sorry.
What?
Sorry. Okay, you want it without the phone?
This is for Cannes Film Festival.
It's actually for Cannes Lion. It's different.
What even is Cannes Lion?
It's a different thing.
You're Lion.